Well, I think we are live. Allow me to quickly check if that's indeed the case. I must make sure that you guys can hear me. Okay, everything is fine. So yeah, here we are. So my name is Hightech, of course, guys, and I'm the creator of the Hightech meme coin. And on these live streams, I will be talking about what just happened today in the cryptocurrency market and what I think about it. Because of 11 years of my experience in this space, I think I can, bring something to the table, tell you one or two new things about the developments, how you should be treating them, how you should be viewing them. And yeah, I think a big news for today is that on hourly interval, I just received entry signal on Bitcoin. As you see, right now, this entry is experiencing a little bit of a pullback. So with the opening of this current hourly candle, I received the signal. So now we are completing almost 1 hour since then, 56 minutes in. So in 3.5 minutes, this one's going to complete, meaning that there is a little bit of a pullback, minus 0.28 percent of a pullback. Not much, to be honest. Our hourly candles on hourly interval, whenever there are pullbacks after entry signals, you can go much further than that and still turn out to be a very profitable later on. So that is why this is nothing to worry about. But this carries quite a lot of probabilities that we will indeed go higher from here. Today is Wednesday, so we are going to hear about Fed rate cuts, or I mean, interest rates, a decision of Federal Reserve, and are they going to cut? Are they going to keep pausing? Are they going to rise? Of course, market expects them to cut today by 25 basis points, and I don't think we should see any other decision than that. I think they're going to go along with expectations. It would be very weird if they try to do anything in opposition to that, because that would shake up the markets a little bit too big probably, and nobody wants to be blamed for that. So yeah, but even though it's generally speaking that's positive for I mean that pivot, right, of interest rates is positive for risk on assets. Crypto belongs to that category, of course. Don't get confused. You should not be longing today, or especially on leverage. Avoid using leverage at all cost, because it will at the end of the day is going to get you wiped out from the market, and you don't want to fall into that basket. But many people will be betting on market going higher, and market makers, of course, it will use it to their advantage. What they will do, they will open short positions on derivative markets. On That's the ugliest arrow I ever have drawn. This one's ugly too. You know what I mean, by the way. What I wanted to do, yeah, this one is better. So they're going to open short positions, and on high leverage, of course, on the spot market, they're going to dump it. So their shorts reach the target, and that way they will just they will wipe out all of their liquidity, just grab it and pocket it in, right? So that's why you should avoid derivatives markets, because you do not have the argument of power such as market makers have, and that is why ultimately they are the only winners in that area. If you want to make money speculating on the crypto market, then you should direct your eyes the spot way, right? And there enough is forgiven when it comes to lack of precision, mistakes, that you can stay afloat, and you're given enough of time to finally after a couple of years realize what works and what does not work. That's your best shot. And then you can automate it and forge it into a fully automated strategy, and that is how you should proceed. Once you find out what works, you should not be exercising it manually. You should exercise it programmatically, and yeah, that's how profitable players in this game proceed. So yeah, let's take a look how Bitcoin dominance looks today. I mean, it will be shaking up everything. I mean, all of this picture that we can see right now, it's going to get shaken up later today. Don't doubt that. Right now, Bitcoin dominance, it looks like it wants to be on its way back to the upward trajectory, and I'm 99% sure that's just a fake out that the market is trying to make you believe that, but it will not be able to pull that one off. I'm highly convinced that the downward inertia that we are having right now is just too strong. This is just a little bit of a fight against the wind, and that's it. Let's take a look at the altcoin chart here. So yesterday, as you see, closed in green. Today is slightly in red. We'll see if we are going to take out, let's say, this low. If that's the case, then probably we'll see a little bit more of the selling pressure before we bottom out and then finally come back to the uptrend. But because as you see here, right, we had quite a lot of price action noise, but we kept the upward trajectory, and that's literally the worst case scenario that can happen to us. It should not be that drastic because we will get that let's say positive kick from interest rate cut. I think it will start working fairly quickly after today. I even go as far as to tell you guys that the daily candle on others chart, Bitcoin chart of today is going to close in green. Right? That's what I'm getting, of course. I think the probabilities favorite that. Well, at the end of the day, of course, I could be wrong, right? So do not bet big on it. It's not like I'm encouraging you to bet big on it. Absolutely not. But that's what I'm expecting, right? So yeah, let's take a look. Maybe okay. First of all, let's take a look at the live chat here. If you guys have any questions, of course, go ahead and write me in the live chat. I will see it here in this section on the right side of the screen on this tab, of course. I'm live streaming to you from Rumble Studio, and Crypto Bubbles, as you see, it looks fairly decent. TST having the largest growth today, plus 70%. I mean, this is actually for the last 24 hours. We also see some other sizable bubbles like the, for example, which I have no idea what that is. ARPA plus 14.4%, quite nice. There is, of course, some red bubbles, but they are definitely smaller than the green ones. And are there the majority? I think it's more or less break even, right? Green with red is like very, very even. It's difficult to tell which one dominates for sure with high degree of certainty. I think it's more or less 50-50. By the way, share, like, and subscribe, guys. If you watch it live or watch it after I already recorded this live stream, then give it a like. give it a follow, a subscribe, or a share. Especially sharing my content is super valuable to me because I'm still very niche content creator. So I need reach, social media reach. So I think right now that's the best tip you can give me. And of course, consider throwing something at my meme coin called Hightech H173K on Radium. You will find the link to its liquidity pool in the description section of this live stream if you watch it on Rumble or on YouTube. If you watch it on X, then just go to my bio and you will get the mint address there. And it will be very easy to find it on whatever Solana DEX with that mint address. And then you can, commit a small investment there. And if you want to, I don't know, promote your business on my social media, then you shall buy Hightech and burn it, and then let me know about it. And then, of course, I will introduce you on this channel as a supporter of my project, and then you will have your airtime, let's say, as a business, as a service, or I don't know, maybe as a person as well. If you want to grow your, let's say, your personality on the web, right? In social media. This is the whole chart of it right now. And this is a very early stage of this meme coin. Of course, we have only 59 hodlers here, as you see. So this is literally the earliest days. I think this is the first project of this kind, first approach to a meme coin like this, what I'm doing here. So we could say that if you are commenting whatever funds here, you're probably an early investor in something completely new, right? In a completely new branch of the crypto space. And as we know from history in crypto, you want to be the first whenever a new category is born. So I strongly believe this is a new category of crypto. Let's take a look at the liquidation levels here for last 24 hours. Very, very low. And that's quite easy to understand, since we are so close to FOMC, Federal Reserve meeting, and decision about interest rates. Markets prefer to wait until that decision is taken, so people don't find themselves on the wrong side of the fence. So that's very easy to understand, right? So the liquidation levels are very low across the board, with the highest on Ethereum, which recent weeks is actually leading the scoreboards every single day almost, and that also, of course, shows an increase in interest around it, probably because of near vicinity of introducing staking on spot ETFs for Ethereum. That's what I'm guessing. I think that's the biggest booster for Ethereum right now. And once it gets introduced, probably it will serve to Ethereum for a couple of months before it wears off. But it's still ahead of us. So that is why, markets like to run towards events, especially big events. So this is literally what we are experiencing here, right? Let's go over maybe NC liquidation heat map, because this one is going to give us a little bit more insight how market can behave later today. And as you see, most liquidity is below the price, around $112,000, $113,000. So expect us to go there today, grab that liquidity, and eventually, briefly, quite quickly, come back to where we are, and even a little bit higher. That's the scenario I'm painting now. I don't think it makes much sense to let it go much lower. Definitely, we will not go in the worst case scenario. We will not go far beyond 110,000 on the way downwards. That would be a little bit weird. I think 110,000. That's and a little bit lower. Okay, let's say 109,000. I think that's the lowest we can go. in my opinion. But do not bet on it, of course. Stay away from derivatives market because it has a very nasty habit of reaching your liquidation point, and the tools those guys are using are very sophisticated. They have full insight of what's going on, uh, on a given exchange, with high level of precision. So that is why a common experience is to get liquidated to a decimal point, right? So that is why, yeah, stay with the spot market, avoid leverage, and um, eventually just DCA this volatility today, and I think you should do just fine, taking profits on the way up towards mid-November this year. So yeah. By the way, yesterday I've added additional X profile to promote my coin, my meme coin, which is this one called Queen Cheryl, and this is a second profile that is promoting my coin after this one, just Cheryl, as you see. So those are of course controlled by my AI, and they keep producing engagement. They keep widening social media reach, and in a gentle manner they sneak in content about high tech from time to time. So yeah, as you see, Gerald has done a remarkably good job so far. 107 followers. That's a very good result, especially that it was introduced in the first half of August. I think second week of August or something like that. Already 107 followers, and this one was launched yesterday. Given that this one is a female, right? Is presenting a female. I expect it to perform better than Gerald. So we'll see. And of course, the same AI is acting on my own account, and is doing a really good job collecting followers for the last 1 month and a half. So yeah, I'm pushing harder and harder to spread that brand awareness about high tech meme coin. And in my case, if I do something and it doesn't work, I do more. If then it does not work, I do even more. And if then it does not work, I add even more. And I just keep like that until I get the desired result. So that's why I think, throwing something small, something low risk at high tech probably will turn out to be a good idea sometime in the future. So yeah, I see there's 3 people watching right now on X. If you guys have any questions, of course, don't hesitate to ask me. You see, I think I received some messages on X now, but it was not coming from the live chat. Okay. So if you have any questions, of course, ask me here in the live chat. I will see it and I will try to answer to you to the best of my abilities. Naturally. Let's take a look at CoinMarketCap and those metrics that we look at nearly every day. Yesterday I was not live streaming all my English media because I didn't have enough of time. But today, as you see, I'm making up for it. And yeah, generally speaking, that's my goal, to at least try to live stream every single day here. And in the worst case scenario, I think I will be live streaming every second day, right? If not every single day, then every second day. I think I should be able to make that one happen. So here, as you see, Fear and Greed Index is at 51. And of course, let me rephrase it, because I said it many times before, but let me repeat it once more. The more followers I get on my English media, the more I will prioritize it, right? Because right now I prioritize my Polish YouTube channel, where I have nearly 1,000 subscribers. Right now on my English YouTube channel, I have 94, but the moment I get somewhere near same level of interest. Of course, my focus will shift to my English YouTube channel, to my English live streaming platforms, because of course there I get global reach. On my Polish YouTube channel, I get only reach from Poland, so naturally uh, I can go much further. You know, looking at the global scene, right? Fair and Grid index at 51, as you see, at neutral level yesterday. I mean, this one is actually from yesterday. The day before it was at 51. Okay, so that's quite surprising because yesterday was looking quite well on crypto bubbles, and we got a bump up by just 1 point. So the market is behaving very in a very conservative fashion, which is good. Is not hitting up too much from one day to another just because there was a little bit of green. That's very mature, I would say. Altcoin season index at 69, and this one I think it's lower than it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was 71. Okay, so that's even weirder because, as I said, yesterday was at least most of the day it was green, and today was it or was it red? Okay, now I'm having a memory of a golden fish. I'm not sure if it was red or green. No, but it had to be good because otherwise, fear and greed index wouldn't score a increase. So yeah, so market is staying conservative, so that's good, right? Because we don't want things to overheat, because that means there is too much liquidity beneath the price, and that's always a very tasty bite for market makers to go for it, and that introduces much more price action noise, and that makes overall everything much more complicated to trade. Okay, so yesterday, on the other hand, we had a little bit of outflows from Ethereum on ETFs, as you see here, but Bitcoin stayed positive. That's interesting. So we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row positive for Bitcoin, and for Ethereum, that for Ethereum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had only 5 positive days in a row, and right now we are scoring a negative one. But Bitcoin is holding on, so that's good. Given the part of the year that favorites growth, favorites rallies, I think things will stay positive, right? With exception of today. I think today will have quite a lot of negative volatility, but it will still close in green. We're still closing green on Bitcoin, of course. Here I'm thinking about Bitcoin. I'm not talking for all of altcoins. Some probably will close red because of that price action noise of today. And, not everyone will be well oriented what is going on. Not every single community, and some coins have pretty broken distribution of their assets, and that is why so some people can get a little bit too scared and dump their coin a little bit too much, and they can finalize red for them. I mean, for those coins, right? But Bitcoin, I expect it to close green today. Even though for like 99.99% we'll see a strong pullback today. When it comes to my algorithm, well, it does not follow the news or anything, because at the beginning I was showing you that I received entry signal. This one does not really care for let's say any news or any other information outside from the chart. So this one just calculates a proper win-lose ratio. So apparently just enough of upward momentum has been gathered to eventually ignore upcoming price action noise that can appear. Right? So that one you must uh, you must know about. This one does not mean we will not have any pullbacks. As a matter of fact, after entry signals on hourly candle, we can easily get even -10 from here before we go higher, right? So, but I expect this signal to give me a profitable trade, right? Even if a pullback later today will be stronger than expected, I think that still this one is going to give me a profitable trade. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look what we are dealing with on my X timeline. Share, like, and subscribe, guys, if you haven't done so, of course, and follow. If you watch it on X, then give me a follow. If you watch it on Rumble, then give me a follow. If you watch it on YouTube, then subscribe. And like I said, consider throwing something at high tech on my meme coin, the only project I promote here, and it will stay that way. If you want to promote your business on my channels, there is only indirect manner of doing that. You can buy high tech, burn it, inform me about it, and then I will be talking about you as a supporter of the project. So that's the only way you can gain exposure through my media if you run a business or something. So, in a way that let's say goes along with my my strategy of promoting my own project. Cointelegraph, Justin, Forward Industries announced 4 billion share sale to boost sole strategy. I don't know what forward industries are, to be honest. Yeah, but apparently they will be putting that $4 billion into Solana. Solana is an amazing blockchain. In many regards, is super cheap, is super fast. That's why I launched my meme coin on Solana. I don't think any other blockchain gives as much possibilities right now, but it's not without any shortcomings. To be honest, it's actually having its own problems. Like, for example, high degree of centralization. Is quite centralized because if the blockchain or a blockchain, sorry, if a blockchain produces like 2.5 gigabytes per 15 minutes, in the best case scenario, best meaning the least it produces is 2.5 gigabytes per 15 minutes, then you need to have a huge data center to store that blockchain, right? So that's a problem, right? That's a problem. Solana is actually a company, to be honest. It's a kind of a decentralized, a slightly decentralized company comparable to Amazon or Microsoft, or something among those lines. Because you cannot meet requirements like that if you're not a big business. CoinVo inside. Tom Lee says Bitcoin and Ethereum will be top gainers of the upcoming rate cut. Uh, Today, right? Because this news comes from 22 hours ago. Bitcoin, I'm fairly convinced is going to close green today. Ethereum, I'm not sure. I wouldn't bet on that. But towards the mid November, highly likely, yes. I highly likely agree. Those two will benefit. But all of the crypto space will benefit, right? Because that's a very clear signal that we are in risk-on environment, that depreciation of US dollar will speed up. Forget about the inflation data that they feed you. That's all false. That's all fake. Has nothing to do with reality. If you live in the United States, you know it best. And people will be looking after something that can stop the erosion of their savings, right? Crypto gurus, history is repeating. It was 90 minutes ago, and he is commenting on Milk Road macro. It's all becoming eerily similar to last year. Jobs data started weakening around July and August in 2024, forcing the Fed to start cutting rates in September. Yeah, but we didn't have interest rate cuts. We had pausing, so that's different. But this time we're going to get cuts. That's practically a given. Um, so yeah, of course. I mean, that's a normal thing to expect that there will be some, let's say, similarities from one year to another. Cyclicality. That's what markets do. They're cyclical, not exactly in the same form, but there is from one cycle to another there's always a lot of things shared in common. Bitcoin news. Let's flip resistance to support and get on with this bull run. Yeah, well, we are getting there. We are getting there. I will be very surprised if we do not cross 150K this year. I'll be very, very surprised. I think it's highly likely we are going to get 150K, which to some may sound like a very decent gain, but to be honest, altcoins will give much more. Most of altcoins. Powell cuts rates, altcoins go parabolic. We all get so effing rich. Not as simple. Not as simple because there will be a lot of dumps, pullbacks in between. But I think until at least end of first half in 2026, it's going to be a wild ride up. Global liquidity is heading higher, bullish for crypto, for Bitcoin and crypto. Yeah, it is. It is bullish. Maybe not as bullish as many imagine, but it is bullish, nonetheless. So yeah, breaking gold reaches another all-time high of $3,700. Yeah, the gold keeps climbing higher. It just goes higher and higher. Here you can see tokenized version of gold, which I also have in position right now, plus 9.48% percent in profit. So yeah, for gold that's a lot. For gold that's a lot to on this chart score a profit that great with the level of volatility it presents. I'm sorry. So one of my predictions is coming true that gold will not play a role of that signal provider when to get out from risk on assets, when to get in, because since US dollar will aggressively depreciate, like literally everything denominated in it will just soar. And for those that rely on gold to deliver that kind of information, they will be committing a lot of mistakes, severe mistakes. And I think, for if you want to be honest with yourself, that one was very easy to guess, because we are getting closer and closer to the end of the US dollar as a world reserve currency. I think that's quite obvious for anybody who has two brain cells still functioning. I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to take to complete the process. Definitely not next month and not next year. It's going to take a decade or maybe two. But we have already started, right? So US dollar at the end of the day is going to hyperinflate. as every single fiat currency. That's literally the destiny of all fiat currencies, unfortunately. That's a flaw by design from the very beginning. There's no fiat currency that will not end with hyperinflation. So yeah, but there will be pullbacks, right? There will be pullbacks. It's not like once a currency starts to hyperinflate, it's a one way, like 100% one way ticket. It has pullbacks on the way up. At the end of the day, it goes to zero, but with pullbacks and sometimes quite strong pullbacks. So it will still be easy to get lost in it. Yeah. Okay, guys, allow me to wrap it up right here. I don't want to make this live stream overly long. Share, like, and subscribe. Consider throwing something at Hidek at my meme coin here. Of course, I'll be adding to it more and more functionalities. I'll be widening a campaign about brand awareness here with my AI, managing more and more X accounts that let people know about its existence. And this right now here, it's still very, very early, man. It's still very, very early to get on board. And I think you are standing in front of a juicy opportunity. So yeah, consider that. Okay, thank you for your time. Let's see you sometime soon. Cheers.